But as it relates to some of these certs, and we're obviously excited about what we're doing, but more importantly, I'm excited about like professional certs and the hard skills, I guess, working their way into higher ed long term. But increasingly, I think we can see this happening at the high school area as well. I don't think that
Totally.
some of this content can easily be digested by high school sophomores and up. Do you feel like that is a trend we'll start to see? I know we have infused the Anaheim public schools with some of our certs as a way to get this off the ground. But you feel like that'll be a trend that not just us, but other companies will start doing that, not just to higher ed, but it also at the level.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think, and I think it'll be both. It'll be kind of all along the spectrum from technical certs to, CTE type. I mean, sort of what we were actually whiteboarding this today, CTE 4.0, right? And so let's get kids into apprenticeships and let's get them into mentorships and all the kinds of things that kind of begin to help them think about career relevance in middle school or in kindergarten even. I mean, there's Sesame has an interesting program actually around sort of, acclimating very young children about what does career mean? What do jobs mean? Why is it relevant? Why is it relevant to you? Why could it be fun? I think the migration and then there are other initiatives. I mean, back to Arizona State, not to be Johnny One Note, but they have Arizona ASU Prep. And that's an online high school program that they have fantastic Julie Young running, who they grabbed from Florida Virtual, thanks to the ASU GSV Summit. I'll say, but anyway, so Julie is now running ASU Prep, and they have tens of thousands of students online. Arizona students are free because they're coming through their public school allowment, but it's available to students all over the world, and they are having those students actually consume college credits and for free because it's coming in under, again, under the per pupil allotment and given to high school students. And so dramatically, if you think about high school is a pretty bad offering, right? At the, across the boards. And if you think about the opportunity for students who are otherwise, tapping out and kind of to actually take college credits, dramatically lower the cost of what their ultimate cost of higher education is going to be, because they're able to take it in through, they're able to consume it in through the K-12 per pupil. And it's, and it's a real college course. So it's not in any kind of dumbed down fashion. These are real ASU courses being offered, online to students to accelerate them in their high school, experience. And I think you're going to see more and more and more of that. I think there's been, you can see, there's obviously a lot of parent dissatisfaction has been generated by what's gone on the last 2 years. I mean, it's fairly fascinating. You can see it in elections. You can see it in, I got an inbound yesterday from a parent union being formed. It's pretty interesting. And I think that's gonna, and you can see the numbers on the increases in students moving into online high school, into online high school formats. I mean, I just saw the Ohio numbers this morning. It was crazy. I mean, they saw like a 25% increase, while otherwise enrollments declined. And so yeah, I think and I think all of that is gonna contribute to students consuming certs, full courses, et cetera, in high school, and either using that and going into college, or using that to go right to work. If they've taken certs that are actually, giving them proficiency and competency for employment that's, gainful employment. So yeah, I think it's basically, we're seeing the smash up of the, if you look at pre-K 16, you're just seeing the smash up of the kind of false barriers between all those, between K-12 and higher education, I think, which is pretty cool.
Somebody who's raised by two educators. It is cool to be at this stage in this moment. Because to your point, I think you coined it false barriers. All of this was possible before. I guess maybe the incentive wasn't there, or we just weren't uncomfortable enough. Right?
And the dumb, if you haven't, Paul LeBlanc just wrote a great book, Students First, and it was probably the most coherent, simple, crisp explanation of competency-based learning. But at the end, at the end of the day, competency-based learning is about how ludicrous it is that we have a time-based education system. And second, it's about a revolution in assessment. And, I sit on the board of ETS, so I actually understand how we got into this sort of, high stakes assessment mentality, in the beginning, which was intended to actually, level the playing field, and then it reversed. And I think this movement to revolutionizing the way we think about assessing skills and talent, and move away from this time-based system of the hour, the stands of the hourglass, it's just a great thing.
Yeah, I think it is wonderful, and it's going to get, as we talk about high school students, going to give them the optionality to join the workforce or reduce the cost on tuition. Hopefully, the modality and time, as we get more students online, the economies of scale kick in, allowing at least a lot of institutions to drop costs and increase affordability and therefore opportunity. I think it's a fascinating time to be in the space. I'm sure.
Totally agree.
Been at it longer than me.